Hello and welcome back to my show. I hope you're well. Let's get to the news. You remember how we spoke about the article? It's written by Chris Coles, The Allegory of the Hawk and the Serpent, if I remember that correctly, the title. I will put a link for the article so you could read that for yourself and be convinced that the Dragon Portfolio is the way to go, because that as assets that outperform during times of what the author said secular decline, recession, super hyperinflation, and COVID times. So if we go to page 12, you'll notice that in the pie graph we have the components of the Dragon profile and what you need to get into if you so choose to. The Dragon portfolio consists of 24% of stocks, 18% bonds, 19% physical gold, 18% commodity trends. That's where you invest or trade, where you follow the trends in commodities. And the author Coles said this, so you might want to take note of it. Oh yeah, the example of commodity trends, which is a good thing to know, is natural resources, crude oil, soybeans, and copper, and probably others as well. But the author wants us to take note. He said, commodity trends, quote, is the second best performing asset overall next to real estate. And the last one is 21% goes for active long volatility. Now, if you go to that same page, page 12, you'll notice that there is, before we get there, hold on. Active long volatility. The authors calls this the most under-allocated asset in the toolbox based on its protective properties. He goes on to say buying options opportunistically to profit from turbulence, quote, smart insurance policy against deflation or fiat debasement. In essence, it's a way to prevent your losses. Okay, and so let's go to the graph now. It's on the same page, page 12, where if you look at the Dragon portfolio, you invest $1 in 1928, you fast forward to 2018, and you'll find using the Dragon portfolio, you have accumulated over 100,000 buckaroonies, versus if you go with what some people call quote, buying in the dip, or they call it, in this graph, buy in decline in equities, which is the same thing. You deposit $1 in 1928, and you accumulate in 2018 4 cents. Wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Sure it is. Yes, it is. Okay, now let's get to other news, shall we? Biden admits that the border is a, quote, humanitarian crisis. And MSNBC headline says this: Biden frames overcrowding of border as humanitarian crisis. And Biden calls conditions at crowded migrant facilities, quote, totally unacceptable, but yet we continue to open the borders and welcome them into this travesty of conditions. Border crossings, just in case you don't know, they are at the highest level in 20 years. ABC News gave us the liberty of showing us a viewing of the border facility where people were practically wrapped up, or literally wrapped up in tin foil, full body and all, almost like they were burritos. And I'm not laughing at it at all here. It's just an unfortunate situation. Also in the news, Zero Hedge headline: stocks dump and pump, dollar gains amid Bitcoin bond pain. Bloomberg reported that value stocks outperformed growth stocks. The dollar bounced back up from its lows back to the highs in March. Bitcoin took a hit, I'm guessing because of the potential second wave shutdown or scare of COVID being a variant, where it plunged to 50,000. Crude oil prices again were at the WTI low at below $58. And the 10-year was at 1.628%, and gold was at 1728. Historically, economists say that there's an inverse relationship between gold and the 10-year. When gold prices go up, that means that the 10-year yield is at rock bottom, or what do I say? How do I say this better? Where the 10-year yield's bottom is reached. So that's something you want to take note of. And yes, silver is still scarce. Did I miss anything there? Okay. Oh, okay. Remember how I mentioned about Cigna putting policy underway to forbid or not hire people who are of Anglo descent, Caucasians? Well, to add assault to injury, we have people like Damon Young who are going a step further and saying in his article, "Whiteness is a pandemic," by Damon Young. So this is food for thought. This is like food for thought. I got tongue twisted there. Food for thought. You kind of look into it. If you don't want to, that's surely okay with me. He goes on to say, whiteness is a public crisis. It shortens life expectancies. It pollutes air. It devastates forests. It melts ice caps. It sparks and funds wars. It flattens dialects. It infests consciousness. And it kills people. But he didn't stop at that. He went the next level. He said, this is toward the end, he says, the only way to stop it is to locate it, isolate it, and kill it. So what do you guys think about all this, huh? It's hysteria. Well, I'll wait to find out what you guys think in the threads. Now, come on, be bold enough and comment there. Tell me what you think about anything I said. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? And again, I will put that article by Chris Coles, The Allegory of the Hawk and the Serpent, in the description, so you could read it and reaffirm to yourself the information I've given to you is indeed true, and you could read it in its depth. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in my next video. Be safe, be blessed. Till next time. Keep watching, subscribing, like, do all that cool stuff, okay? Thank you. Bye.